naka def
yow foo joxee
mbaa def la suma tool balaa wari yoon
man de man faa tehi man
yaa ngi toog di daa dégg son
man faa tehi di man suma tool bi fa booy baaxatul
xanaa doo dee use engrais fertilizer
man loolu yow bu wuti ko foofu faa tehi dem ca dépôt ba dafa wuti fa sori
gis nga mbayum léegi boo amul fertilizer du baax de engrais kenn jëndeetu ko ci def
boo ko jëlee ci dépôt foo koy amee
kay yaa ngi doog a ñëw xam nga Reliance banque bi ñuy wax Reliance
faa koy dégg waaw
kay gis nga boo demee Reliance ci boppam foofu ngay fayee saako yi nga bëgg nu mu toll nga fay ba pare ñu jox la sa receipt gis nga receipt boobu ñu lay jox moom ngay yóbbu nag ca dépôt ba
kon fu ne ko dem ci dépôt ba te yóbbu la kay doo ko am
déedéet
fu ne su ma jógoon su ma xaalis ba dem ci dépôt ba du ma am
déedéet doo am foog nga dem Reliance fay ba pare
waaw
soo ko dem nag ak sa receipt ca dépôt ba waa Gambia Granite Corporation lii la ñu wax
yow fi ne fa nga jëm ni la
waaw fa laay dem ni
kon kay ni jàmm jox la nga jëndaaleel ma ay yow ma de fi di saako doon yàgg te dama ko xam
maa la ko wax de
boo xàggee jëndaaleel ma
mbokk yi nii lañ ko bëggee waa Gambia Granite Corporation ñu ne saako engrais $700 dong lay jar muy $200 rek yomb na lool daw leen Reliance bu leen gën a jege si PMS tam dañuy jaay comme ni ko Reliance di jaayee boo fa demee dinañ la jaay te engrais bii pour réew mi kese la bëgguñ mu génn réew mi.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jeja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulaling. We are also producers of Jeja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
Here are 5 ways you can help combat stigma and discrimination as we fight against coronavirus COVID-19. 1. Educate your friends and family that COVID-19 is not specific to any race, nationality, or skin color. 2. Do not associate migrants with the virus. In many contexts, migrants are healthy and key players in nation building. 3. Remind others that discrimination may lead people to hide their symptoms rather than seek treatment. This puts everyone else at risk. 4. Be kind, considerate, and helpful to others in these difficult times. 5. If you know anyone experiencing symptoms, encourage them to dial 1025 for free.
It's a warm welcome to our studio here in Serekunda. This is Star TV News with me, Dada Cham. In the headlines tonight, in a press release sent to Star TV, the APRC party declares that it is not in discussion with any party for a coalition. Lawmakers reject state of public emergency extension to 45 days. General Bojang accused his own party of the nude video scandal. A GAP expelled Bojang from party over nude video scandal. Barrow's administration is committed to have the right foundation for this country, Ami Bojang says her remarks. Turkish embassy celebrates 4th anniversary of defeated coup attempt in Turkey. On the international scene, calls for calm as Mali government criticized for response to protests. UN says migrants in Yemen stranded abuse amid coronavirus fear. UK bans purchase of 5G equipment from Huawei. Those were the headlines, and now the news in details. In a press release, the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction, APRC, is hereby informing the general public that the APRC party has not agreed and is not into discussion with any political party for a possible coalition at the moment. The press release is necessitated to redress the recent information misinterpreted by some people that the APRC party is discussing with the National People's Party, NPP, for merging into a coalition. It is correct to say that some APRC executive members has met some NPP party members and other political party members that have shown interest in wanting to work with the APRC party towards the 2021 presidential election, and though no coalition discussion are or were being held and no agreement has either been made. The APRC National Executive Committee is yet to sit over this discussion held with various political parties and make a possible. The APRC National Executive Committee is yet to sit over this discussion held with various political parties and make a position as to the way forward. The release ends. The National Assembly members on Tuesday rejected the state of public emergency extension to 45 days proposed by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Honorable Dauda A. Jallow, after 23 out of 43 members voted against it. Maria Madam reports.
The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Honorable Dauda A. Jallow, was at the National Assembly to set the motion for an extension of the state of public emergency by 45 days. He reminded the Assembly that on the 18th of March 2020, in global response to COVID-19, President Barrow, pursuant to Section 34, subsection 1A of the 1997 Constitution, declared by proclamation published in the Gazette that the situation exists in the Gambia, which if allowed to continue will lead to a state of public emergency. However, in defense to his request, he raised concern over the rapid spread of the COVID-19 in the country and across the world.
As a result of sudden spike in the rate of infections, it has been forecasted by health experts that the Gambia will face its peak infection rates around the end of July, and the recent spike of cases in the country serves as an ominous sign of what is to come. Honorable Speaker, in the light of the above, it is necessary to extend the period of the state of public emergency to enable the government fully and effectively assume its responsibility to avert potential health catastrophe for fragile health infrastructure. Given the size of our population and our geographic location, we are extremely vulnerable as a country, and our already overburdened health infrastructure will simply collapse under the weight of more COVID-19 cases in the country. For these reasons, I move that this August Assembly approve and extend for 45 days, effective 15th of July 2020, the period of state of public emergency in the whole of the Gambia, declared by His Excellency the President on the 8th of July 2020, pursuant to Section 34(1)(6) of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia.
Usman Silla, member for Banjul North, who seconded the motion in support of an extension, said that people are still living with it. People should maintain the preventive measures, including adhering to rules of the state of public emergency. Nevertheless, majority of the lawmakers voted against the motion, which led to the rejection of the proposed extension of the state of public emergency by 45 days.
I now put the question. Honorable Speaker, it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the motion to further extend the period of state of public emergency for 45 days in accordance with Section 34(2) in bracket, A in bracket, I in bracket of 1997 Constitution, and further affirm the period of public emergency regulations made thereto in accordance with Section 5 2 in bracket of Emergency Power Act, effective Wednesday, 15th July 2020. Those in favor? Ayes 20, no 23. Assembly decided not to consider the motion.
Mariam Adem, reporting for Star TV News.
Retired General Lamin Bojang on Tuesday spoke to the media in a press conference in Brufut to shed more light on the nude video of him making round social media platform accusing his own party of disseminating the nude video scandal. Binta Koli reports.
Lamin Bojang, a native of Brufut, was picked by the Gambia Action Party to be their presidential candidate for 2021 election, after which he resigned from his foreign service job and accepted the offer. Speaking to the media, General Bojang gave different portfolios in which he served, and according to him, he serves to the best of his abilities. According to him, he decided to join politics because he served as a diplomat and later got connected with people who are involved in politics. He was quick to add that he wouldn't let any political party use him.
However, I have joined a group of people. We have established a political party that I have sacrificed financially, and I have committed and sacrificed the comfort of my life, my family, and my every dependent on me. Because I believe that there are people who are out there who are genuine people like me, who wants to use politics to develop this country. And I thought that was a group of people that I have joined to move this country. But what I want to make it clear is that there's nobody that can use me to dupe Gambians. There's nobody that can use me to bait Gambians into any illicit or to do anything that will sway me from the objective of developing this country.
Bojang said that a lot of things have been going on in the party, which even pushed him to want to resign. But he still keeps pushing. He said that his ways of doing politics is different from that of his political party members. The retired general gave a brief explanation of how he found out that his nude video was going viral.
July, on Tuesday, I was sitting in my house and I received a call from a known caller from UK. The guy called me and said, "Are you Lamin?" I said, "Yes, I am Lamin." And he said, are you aware that people are distributing your nude pictures in the net? On the net, I said, "No, I am not aware of that." "And who are you?" He said, "I am not a member of Gambia Action Party. I am a member of a political party." He mentioned one of the biggest political parties in this country. He mentioned that political party to me, that I belong to this political party, but there are your nude pictures that people have access to. I don't know if you are aware. I said, "My nude pictures, but how is that possible?" He said, "This is what is up." I said, "Okay, now send me the pictures." Few minutes later, he sent me the pictures. I looked at the pictures and I said, "But this is a distorted picture. These are distorted. How do you get these things?" He said, "A gentleman called me. Immediately before he told me that, he sent me his WhatsApp number, his Gambian WhatsApp number. That is the person who first called me from UK. When he sent me his WhatsApp number, I added it, and I have his WhatsApp number. Now we're communicating through his WhatsApp number. Immediately, I received the pictures. Before I even contacted Interpol, one of the senior leaders, one of the senior members of Gambia Action Party, called me and said, "I have the period is not more than 5 minutes when all these things were unfolding." He said, "I have pictures from a friend from the UK." He said, "People are distributing your nude pictures."
He added that he was scammed and asked to pay a ransom of 5,000 euros. The scammers threatened to ruin his political career if he failed to pay the ransom.
Handies that were tapped or hacked. He said, "What you do is don't talk to anybody. The person that contacted you, use him as a mediator between you and the hackers or the scammers." So I also complied. And the guy who called me from UK also called me again and said, these people say they demanding 5,000 euros from you. If you do not give them 5,000 euros, they will destroy your political career. I said, 5,000 euros for what? At this time, why am I supposed to pay 5,000 euros? So I called Interpol again. I told Interpol that these guys are asking for a ransom of 5,000 euros.
The ex-presidential candidate for Gambia Action Party alleged his own party members of spearheading the circulation of his nude video.
To my greatest shock and dismay, this illicit content and these pictures and videos were circulated in the Gambia by my own members of Gambia Action Party. This was what really shocked me. They've sent it and also even sent it to my family members and friends. Some of them declared not to be sent this type of document. And this is what really forced me to call for this press conference.
The emotional Bojang thanked his family for their support. He specifically thanked his wife for her understanding and cooperation. Mr. Bojang ultimately apologized to the entire Gambians for the nude video. For Star TV News, I am Binta Koli.
The Gambia Action Party, GAP, on Tuesday evening say that the party leader and presidential candidate Lamin Bojang has been expelled from the party. This came in the wake of the purported new videos of Bojang circulating on social media. It was also necessitated after Bojang accused executive members of the party of circulating the video. Yamundo Koko has the rest of the story.
Over the weekend, Gambians were greeted with an unfortunate nude video of Bojang. Initially, it was reported that Bojang denied that he was the one in the video, saying it was a fake one. But after many talks on social media, Bojang called a presser on Tuesday and accused some senior members of GAPS of the circulation of the video online. This accusation has apparently angered the party leadership, and they decided that the best way out of this mess was to expel their former standard bearer from the party. In a press release, the party said, "The Gambia Action Party is very much aware about the recent nude video and photos of Honorable Lamin Bojang circulating in the media platforms. And this came as a shock and surprise to the general membership of the GAP. All attempts were made within the national executive to ensure that the image of the party and Honorable Lamin Bojang remain clean and clear from the mess. But we have less control on what is published on social media platforms." The party noted that it stood in solidarity with Bojang after the video was uploaded on social media. But after he accused senior members of the party of circulating the video, the party said that they could no longer tolerate that. The party, in a letter sent to Mr. Bojang, wrote, "We want to make it crystal clear that your actions are unethical and are not in line with the constitution of the party as well as the modus operandi. Thus, we unanimously agreed to expel you from the party, and you are no longer our presidential candidate or flag bearer effective on the 14th of July 2020. The party also believes that Bojang was not supposed to call on a press conference without their approval. The party said Bojang no longer has any connection whatsoever with them." Reporting for Star TV News, I am Yamundo Kuka.
The Director of Press at the Office of the President made his revelation during an exclusive interview in Banjul on Tuesday concerning the United States Embassy's report and the fiscal transparency report of the Gambia's government. Omar Job tells us more.
The United States Embassy's publication about the Gambia's progress in advancing fiscal transparency has boosted the government's transparency on its financial dealings, which has propelled the government in its endeavors to actualizing its democratization process, especially on excess financial details. The Director of Press at the Office of the President, Bojang, expressed her government's commitment in achieving such a positive report from U.S. Embassy in the Gambia. She commended the Ministry of Finance for making their finance transactions available to the general public and called on the other ministries to imitate the Ministry of Finance.
The Borough Administration has committed from its inception that it wants to have the right foundation for this country, and to have the right foundation, you must have the proper systems and procedures in place. You must have the proper rules to follow, and you must respect those rules and procedures. And you cannot do that without being open to the people who put you there. And as a government, the Barrow government has always been insisting on how to communicate to the public, to the citizens, and everybody in general. And this is one way of communicating, that is bringing the information to the people for them to engage and understand what you're doing. So if you have a website, for example, we must commend the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, because they are the implementing institution when it comes to transparency policies and strategies. So therefore, having the website uploading relevant information anybody can access anywhere in the world, I think it's a plus for the government and a plus for the Ministry of Finance. And I think this is what we should encourage for all ministries and institutions. If there are important information that is relevant for the public, let the public have access to it, and that makes life easy for not only the people who want to know, but also makes life easy for the officials who have been bestowed with that responsibility to share their information with the public, because it's for the public and because of the public that they are there. So therefore, it is important that they communicate to the public and give the right information. This is what we expect.
Madam Siso furthered that people should understand that not all information are meant for public consumption, as there are others where the executive has to act accordingly based on its powers.
There are information that are classified that you do not give to the public. There are information everywhere in the world. You have classified information, but then the public must understand the process why that classified information is there, and they must have access to know and understand what is going on. You can communicate that without communicating the actual classified part of it. But they need to know, for example, if you say the president has invested with the powers to replace a person, for example, that means that they are giving you the relevant code that makes it possible for the president to do that. And that's it. So when it comes to the details of why people are going and coming, those are processes for discussions. And the discussion can be with the people who are directly involved in that. It is not the responsibility of the president or the office of the president to come and say, okay, because A did this, B did that, C did that. You know, I don't think the role of the office of the president basically is to coordinate and monitor what is going on in government.
The Director of Press is enthusiastic that if the Access to Information Bill is enacted, it will avail people the opportunity, especially the journalists, to access accurate information from the government and its institutions. However, questions still remains as to whether the content of this bill will be actualized when enacted, or it will only fill our law books. For Star TV, I am Omar Job.
The Turkish embassy in the Gambia this morning celebrates the 4th anniversary of the defeated coup attempt that took place in Turkey 4 years ago. It was considered the deadliest terrorist attack that took place in Turkey. I attended the occasion, and this is my report. The coup attempt was said to have been planned by the Fethullah terrorist organization FETÖ in Turkey on 15th July 2016. It claimed the lives of 240 people. The FETÖ is an organization which was led by a Turkish-based American preacher, Fethullah Gulen. The organization emerged in the 1970s as a movement providing educational services. The situation of the coup was said to have revealed the actual aim of the organization, contradicting its initial proclaimed aim of educating people. The ambassador of Turkey to the Gambia, His Excellency Tolgan Birmak, in his statement said that the celebration was not to only celebrate the failed coup attempt, but to remember the innocent civilians that lost their lives in it.
At that night, Bosphorus Bridge was blocked by tanks. Helicopters and aircraft dropped bombs over innocent civilians. Main state buildings in our capital city, including the parliament, the presidential complex, and others, were bombed by traitor pilots. They have even tried to assassinate our president. However, our people from all political backgrounds united as one at that night. They displayed a historic example of solidarity and unity.
The ambassador said that in the past 4 years, their fight against FETO has been one of Turkey's main priorities. In a success, the perpetrators of the coup attempt had been brought to justice. He also thanked the Gambia for being one of the African countries that took a bold step during the fight against FETO.
Fortunately, Gambia is one of our friends who have extended the most determined support in our fight against FETO. Gambia has been the first country in the African continent which closed FETO school in 1914. This determined step of the Gambia has set an example for other African countries in the fight against FETO. We really appreciate that.
A 7-day exhibition is open as part of the celebration of victory in Turkish democracy and national unity. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Dado Cham. Those were the local news. We will be back with the international news after the short break.
Mbedo ko walande bar fenkil nañ jaxal jang nga fem fi jabu ka bete nga fem fi jabu ka bete nga fem fi yang ko jaxal dafa malo mekel ñaadi
ne jambando soto angare ñing leo soto yake jang ila soto fe ngo fam be yiru wala
je jambando ha wato alhamdulillah sa jambando mo soto la ñaadi le
sa ñing moli abla le kata fan kata depo ñinto hani ni futata je depoto sa ñi buka wafi de ka kodo ta mo bulu ka boto dila wo bo sa ñi wo botale sa ñi mimbe kering wala ñinti ko reliance ibita wolto ye kodojo ne kodojo reliance ka risitol dia ba risito ni ngaku matal de wo risito ni adila e ka wole samba depo nyintu ne risito di yela jambando soto
ko mi ngi yek mo fu nyami ngamoyle nim fana bodo janko denke mbira jambando sanna
GGC wole Gambia Groundnut Corporation wolle be mararen ñing jambando la kola andu ila ñin jang ngalo ne ñin jambando ni yake jang ifam ba fola ñela
tumondo bar be jambando xel fana nga jibe nim bodo ya mbita wolto mbita sekro direct nim tara ye rek be jambando sanna
oto mbaɗigol ñewode ñul natata kana mol dahandi GGC ka jambando data la mole fa dala si ceme worwula he ñomo alten to baldi mbati woto nimboru bayta ngata na jambando la ko do jo woto jang san sa mbe wutule ngata fo reliance nganna jambando la ko do joje to ngana risito ta ngata depo wala ngaji be CPMS katu ñindu la fulol de min suriyata na rek nin tara nga joje benna jambando sotla al nimbara bak ala baraka.
Hey, alhamdulillah. Nyomo alten Dubai. Moro nyina metu abena no sana.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jeja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jeja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
Hello Gambia. Your television experience is about to be transformed to the next level. Enjoy amazing features with the new DTT decoder by XCAF, Watch television in high definition and excellent sound quality. Watch Gambian channels such as GRTS, QTV, Star TV, Paradise TV and MTA with one decoder, all for free. That's not all. For a monthly subscription of $510, you get 60 international channels from your favorite football leagues, news, African movies, telenovelas, cartoons and much more. Get the decoder for $2,040, which comes with free installation, 24/7 customer and technical support all year round, and 1 month free subscription for only $510 thereafter. Get the decoder at XCAF Gambia, located at Hendon Court Building, former Dream Park, Senegambia, or through approved dealers. For more info, call 446-1060 or 446-1061. The world is at your fingertips with the XCAF DTD decoder.
And now beyond our borders. Calls for calm as Mali government criticized for response to protests. The United Nations, European Union and African Union have expressed a deep concern over the deepening political crisis in Mali, condemning the use of lethal force against anti-government demonstrations and called for a dialogue. Bloody protests began in the capital Bamako on Friday, with reports saying security forces fired live rounds during clashes with demonstrators. Some of whom had occupied state-building demonstrations were demanding President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta to resign. Al Jazeera Sara Karcha reports.
The aftermath of some of Mali's worst civil unrest in years. Since Friday, several people have been killed and dozens injured. Heavily armed security forces are now patrolling much of the capital Bamako, but not this street. It's being manned by anti-government protesters. They've set up barricades to prevent security forces from arresting Mahmoud Dicko, head of the opposition coalition, at his home. He's been leading the protests that started on Friday, calling for President Ibrahim Keïta to resign.
What I wish is that we can calm the situation. After all, Mali belongs to us all. We shouldn't destroy our country because we're angry. I truly believe people must return to reason. We must talk, even if we don't agree with one another. By doing so, we might even come to an agreement.
Dicko and his supporters insist on the need for big reforms. They're unhappy with the president's handling of a long-running armed conflict and an economic crisis, and they've rejected President Keïta's concessions over this year's disputed parliamentary election.
We want profound change. Our fight is not just about the dissolution of the assembly, but our fight is for President Keïta's departure once and for all, and for a new Mali. We are determined to go all the way. If he wants to use tear gas, I'm ready to take my share of bullets to join my creator. But Mali has to be what we want it to be.
Mohammed says this is where security forces threw tear gas at protesters and fired live bullets. He adds he was almost killed as a bullet grazed his arm.
We've been here for 4 days now, but the police are making arbitrary arrests. They've arrested members of the M5 movement and those from the moral authorities under Imam Dicko.
President Keïta, who's been in power since 2013, has already made several attempts to calm the tensions, including a promise to dissolve the constitutional court involved in this year's disputed parliamentary election, and free several detained opposition figures.
I wasn't arrested, I was kidnapped. You see, they came here to my house at 11 p.m., banged on the door and disguised themselves as part of the family. They came in, they dragged me out of my living room almost naked and took me away. So for 2 days I slept in an unsanitary washroom with no food, no contact, in total isolation. So for me, it was an assassination attempt.
Amid all this, a video of the president's son Karim partying on a yacht went viral on social media. He's now resigned from his parliamentary role. It's not clear whether Keïta can appease the protesters, but the United Nations, European Union and African Union are all calling for talks and have condemned the use of lethal force by security forces. Sarah Khairat, Al Jazeera.
Tens of thousands of African migrants, mostly Ethiopians stranded in Yemen, have been harassed and forcibly transferred internally amid fear they are spreading the coronavirus, according to the UN Migrants Agency. Al Jazeera Sara Karat reports.
Trapped in Yemen, one of the most dangerous countries in the world, there's little these Ethiopian migrants can do except pray under the hot sun. Most were headed to Saudi Arabia for work, hoping it could pull them out of poverty. But the pandemic stopped them in their tracks. Now they're among tens of thousands of migrants stuck in a country in its 6th year of war.
COVID-19 has made this situation worse. Migrants are scapegoated as carriers of the virus and as a result suffer exclusion and violence. In addition to the forced removals, fears about COVID-19 have led to migrants in Yemen experience verbal and physical harassment, increased detention, and movement restrictions.
The majority of migrants in Yemen are from Ethiopia. Most have been forced to sleep rough or even shelter in abandoned or bombed buildings.
I don't have a place to stay. No sleep, no food. There's nothing. We're all tired, very tired. There is no food or water or anything. To sleep, we use cardboard and sleep at the traffic lights. I'm tired.
The International Organization for Migration says more than 14,000 migrants have been forcibly transferred to cities like Aden and Marib. Vulnerable and stigmatized, many are being held in extremely unhygienic detention centers with little food or water. Last week, the World Food Programme warned of a potential famine across Yemen, with around 10 million people facing acute food shortages. Its health system has all but collapsed, and the UN believes the number of COVID-19 cases is much higher than reported. All adding to the concern for the migrants now trapped in the world's worst humanitarian crisis of modern times. Sara Khairat, Al Jazeera.
The UK has banned the purchase of new 5G equipment from the Chinese telecom giant Huawei from December 31st. Huawei has called the decision disappointing and politics. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been under pressure from within his own party and the US, which says the company is a security risk. Al Jazeera Nandan Baba reports from London.
A U-turn by the UK government, but one it says was driven by practicalities, not politics. Announcing the total ban on Huawei kit in Britain's planned 5G network by 2027, the Culture Minister said US sanctions blocking Huawei's use of American microchips would make the company less reliable in future.
The best way to secure our networks is for operators to stop using new affected Huawei equipment to build the UK's future 5G networks. So to be clear, from the end of this year, telecoms operators must not buy any 5G equipment from Huawei. And once the telecom security bill is passed, it will be illegal for them to do so.
The move against Huawei will please Washington, which has been pressuring the UK to act. The company had expected it. It's warning UK mobile users will lose out. In a statement it says, "Regrettably, our future in the UK has become politicised. This is about US trade policy and not security. Over the past 20 years, Huawei has focused on building a better connected UK. As a responsible business, we will continue to support our customers as we always have done." The British government hopes the announcement will convince other suppliers to enter the market and fill the gap. Meanwhile, the China skeptics among Boris Johnson's Conservative Party are largely happy. They say national security must trump worries about an already damaged relationship.
Relations are already strained over Hong Kong, where China has behaved disgracefully. So anyone thinking we're still in a golden era of relations with China is clearly wrong. But so be it. I think this is the right decision, and we should be calm. We want to continue trading, we want to continue commercial relations with the Chinese, but we've got to be firm at the same time.
It's not clear how quickly or how angrily China will react to Britain's decision to get rid of Huawei kit, but other countries will be watching carefully as they too deliberate on whether to ban the company. Nadeem Barber, Al Jazeera, London.
Our White House correspondent Kimberly Hawkins is joining us now from Washington, D.C. Of course, this is happening at a time when relations between the U.S. and China are already very strained. How's the Trump administration going to be reacting to this news?
Well, there's no question that there is an effort to get U.S. allies on its side in its war against Huawei, the concerns being in the United States that this push to broaden the 5G network globally is really just an effort to conduct backdoor espionage, something that the United States has accused China of doing for some time in various means. And we've seen this sort of latest push and embrace of the ban that has taken place in the UK as being embraced by the Trump administration, seeing this as a positive sign. Now, the U.S. president has just called a press conference for 21 GMT, topic unknown. It's unclear if he will be discussing some of the actions that he has been considering with regard to China, but it's something that has been discussed by the National Security Advisor, Robert O'Brien, and we have seen a number of measures coming out of the United States towards China in recent weeks. You noted the position of the Secretary of State on Monday, rejecting China's claims in the South China Sea. We've also seen the U.S. Congress that is typically divided along party lines, uniting in legislation over its concern of the treatment of Chinese Muslims or Uyghurs. We've also seen, or rather the Hong Kong national security law, and we've seen the U.S. impose sanctions over the treatment of Chinese Muslims. So there are a number of measures that have been discussed, but it's clear the position when it comes to Huawei is especially one of concern in the United States. In fact, Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, as far back as February, accused China of an insidious form of aggression by an autocratic government that doesn't share U.S. values. That was echoed by the Justice Department in February, charging Huawei with racketeering. So it's now up to the Trump administration to potentially announce what its next steps are. We know the National Security Advisor has been meeting with U.S. allies in Europe for 3 days of meetings to discuss this, among other issues. And the question becomes, what will happen next? We know that there is consideration underway to ban potentially Chinese applications used in the United States, including WeChat, as well as TikTok. We've seen other countries ban those applications. But the position of the United States is that already they're advising Americans not to download these applications, accusing the Chinese government of information warfare.
That's Kimberly Halkett, our White House correspondent. Kimberly, thank you very much indeed.
And before we end the news, a quick recap of our main headlines. The APRC party declared that it is not in discourse with any party for coalition. Lawmakers reject state of public emergency extension to 45 days. General Bojang accused his own party of the nude video scandal. GAP expelled Bojang from party over nude video scandal. Barrow's administration is committed to have the right foundation for this country. Ami Bojang Sissoko remarks. Turkish embassy celebrates a 4th anniversary of defeated coup attempt in Turkey. And in the international scene, calls for calm as Mali government criticized for response to protests. UN says migrants in Yemen stranded abuse amid coronavirus. UK bans purchase of 5G equipment from Huawei. That's all for this edition of the news. Please enjoy the rest of our programs. Thank you for watching.